I'm Manveen Rana here at Davos 2024, and I'm joined by Vlad Lukic, who is the global lead on tech and digital advantage. Vlad, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you.
Thanks for joining us. Everybody here is talking about AI this year. As you know, we have for many years, but this year in particular, it feels like everything is changing. For you, how much are you seeing companies and leaders taking on that change? And for you, are there surprises about how well or how badly they're doing it?
Yeah, it's hard to, it's too soon to judge, right? I like to say that we are really in the early stages of AI. It has been developed for the last 50 plus years. So it's continuation, but now we're entering the exponential phase of deploying it, right? And deploying it at scale. Last year we talked about GenAI, and there was a magic moment of like, whoa, is this real? Can it really be doing the things that it seems to be doing? What about hallucinations, etc.? This year it has shifted, and a lot of companies have tested it. They say, okay, it actually works when deployed in the right way, but how do I scale this up? How do I take it to everyone in the organization, etc.? As a result, it is in the budgets for 24 for 90% plus companies. So it's happening. Now, only 10% of them or so are actually deploying it efficiently. So they're trying to figure out, how do I scale this up? How do I get enough employees to learn how to use it? How do I put the right guardrails in place, etc.? So it's just a different flavor of the conversation as it's progressing.
And are you seeing the leaders who are having to have those conversations, having to work out what to do, are they making common mistakes? Are they getting this right?
I'm sure, yes, there's both common mistakes, but also things that they're doing well, right? And the key thing for me is that the ones that are doing it right are genuinely geeking out about it. They're figuring out what it is. They're spending time to get their hands dirty to learn what it is, right?
Yeah.
And to stay close to it, right? The ones that are not doing well are the ones who outsource it, who say, 3 layers in the organization, you go figure out this AI thing, or they think about it as a project, so we'll just do it for 6 months, then we're done, right? So it needs to focus, it needs the dedication, and it needs folks to stay close to it, to try things. And then the last thing, the ones that do it well, they don't think about deploying it in a little segment. They're thinking of rethinking the whole workflow end to end, right? And the ones that think about just we have a number of examples where you deploy some of the AI, it extracts a lot of efficiencies in a specific workflow, but that workflow is not a bottleneck. It's not a bottleneck for the full process, so therefore there is no value in doing it.
So Vlad, you described how we're now hitting that moment of exponential change, where everything is changing incredibly quickly. Are there aspects that you see coming that you think people aren't really focusing enough on?
There is, yes and no. No, because a lot of it is transparent. We're seeing what's coming out, right? But I do think there are a few interesting aspects on the pure technical side. One is that a lot of software companies are going to be seamlessly embedding a lot of the GenAI and more broadly AI features into their offerings. So a lot of the things that we are even building with our clients, I think 6 to 8 months will be obsolete because it will be a feature somewhere else. So managing expectations around that and getting ready for that and focusing more on deploying is going to be one of the new capabilities companies need to build. Some of them will be disappointed because they will say, well, I just spent all this money building it. That is okay, because you build the muscle of what does it take to test it, what does it take to deploy it, how do you change the workflows around it. So it's not wasted, right? So it's useful, it's the muscle that is being built so that you learn how to deploy it. So that's kind of one thing that is going to be surprised. The second one is that the companies that will unlock the value will be the ones that are rethinking workflows end to end and reshaping them. But then be surgical about where do they put some of the AI features within it. Some of it they will develop, some of it will be what they buy, but it will be around that re-engineering of the whole workflow. So those are not necessarily purely technical insights, but those are the things that are usually blind spots for a lot of my clients.
Yeah. And you talked earlier about the ones who are getting it right, the ones who are doing it well by being quite geeky and getting very involved. Just give us a sense of what that looks like. Give us an example of where that works really well.
The executive team knows enough about the technology so that the conversation they're having, you and I, if we were on that executive team, we're talking about where is the friction in the process? Where is the friction in the customer experience? Great. So this is the bottleneck. How do we now, given that, let's think now, how do we deploy the technology? When they're not geeking out on it, when they don't know enough, the conversations are very much of the likes of, is this real? Are you sure? How much is it going to cost? Should we buy it? Should we build it? And so they don't spend any time thinking about really where the value creation will happen or where the frictions are. So that's a simple aggregated difference between those that are leaning in versus not. And then the ones, to take it one click further, the ones that engage into the deployment of this, they test it. They're the ones that in the executive team, they want to not just see the demo, but they want to actually see what will their sales reps see if they're using this tool. They will have a point of view how to refine it. So they're getting involved into the development of some of these tools and having a point of view on it.
And I suppose as they do that, they see more opportunities too.
Then they
of how
say,
it can
correct,
benefit.
where are you getting the data for this? From that, are you guys sure that's accurate data? Did we clear all the privacy policies, etc.? So they can actually start steering you as a developer towards answering a lot of the critical questions around the design of the solution, etc.
But as you say, a lot of companies aren't leaning in. They're sort of hoping somebody will tell them about the change that's coming.
Correct.
Are there some industries really that you think don't see how they're entirely about to change at the moment? They haven't started to adapt.
Yeah. So fascinating insight from you over the last 12 months was that there is no one sector or one industry that is ahead than the others. What I'm finding is that in every single one of them, you have few folks that are so far ahead, like leaning in and truly both disrupting themselves, but figuring out how to deploy this, and then some that are just observing, right? And so it was less around that it's clustered in few industries, it's across the board. So just last week I had a back-to-back meetings, one with an agricultural manufacturer of seeds, the other one was with agricultural equipment, then it was a telecom company, then it was an insurance company, then it was a bank, then it was a manufacturer of like building materials, back to back to back with companies that are doing really cool stuff. So it's not just one sector, it's actually proliferated across.
That's amazing.
Which is very interesting to me.
Well, that's a vision of the future that's
Yep.
coming our
fast.
way. It is coming fast.
Yes.
Thanks very much for joining us, Vlad. That's Vlad Lukic, who is the global leader of Tech and Digital Advantage. And I'm Manveen Rana.